Hi, I'm Jennifer Kranjak, and I'm an online hypnosis practitioner, and I help people in the surgical, medical, and healthcare professions live happier and healthier lives. So, we're finding today a lot of people are really starting to discover the benefits of hypnotherapy, including the people in the healthcare community are really starting to reach out for this type of therapy. And the reason is because it's so effective and fast. Now, on a side note, it has to be the correct form of hypnosis. If it's not the right form of hypnosis, it's not going to do you much good. So, if you're looking at hypnosis and it seems to be what we would call maybe a more meditative style of hypnosis, where you're going to be lying down and people are going to be talking to you while you listen to music and you're walking on a beach in your imagination, that is more of a form of meditative hypnosis. They're going to be offering suggestions, which is a suggestive form of hypnosis in some cases, where they're going to be telling you what to do. A lot of people don't find that's very helpful because a lot of people, when they're conscious, they're not going to be taking a lot of advice from people, even though they know it's a good advice. It's the same thing with hypnosis. So it's not always going to work for everybody. Then there's the form of hypnosis where, you're going to be feeling a lot of things or experiencing a lot of things because somebody's doing script hypnosis with you, where they're literally reading a piece of paper in front of them to you, almost like a bedtime story, and letting your imagination move through this story. And again, that is a form of suggestive hypnosis. And it does work for some people, but it has a lower percentage of success. Then we have our conversational hypnosis, which is a step above because you are actually participating in your session. And then there's also the kind of hypnosis that I offer, which is a form of conversational hypnosis, and it's called ACH. And what it is, it's a very cutting edge and very new form of conversational hypnosis that actually is highly effective, and it's very, very fast. So this is a 100% therapy session when you go to an ACH hypnotist, and they are going to actually cut to the chase, get to the therapy right then and there. And more often than not, your issues can be resolved within one session on a deep neurological level. Now, it sounds like, oh, this is too good to be true. It sounds fake. It couldn't possibly happen that way. Yes, it does, because we're allowing the non-conscious part of the mind to resolve the issue, because the non-conscious or the unconscious part of the brain is where your emotions are, and it is also the problem solving center of your mind. This is more of the primitive mind. It's your fear, flight, or fight response. This is where this is all coming from. So if you are feeling anxiety, addiction, you're having panic attacks, claustrophobia, you're going through insomnia, you're going through trauma or PTSD, any of these things, with this style of hypnosis, we can actually hit the heart of it right away, and the mind will actually correct its overblown emotional response and allow it enough time to heal, because that is the job of a conversational hypnotist, is to actually stop the conscious mind from overthinking, and we kind of break into that cycle of thought and we just let it sit, and the mind will actually start sorting out the issues. The hypnotist, in this case somebody like me, we're going to hold you there, and we're going to make sure that we are hitting all of the problems that you're experiencing, and we're going to keep prompting you in ways so that your mind can actually start thinking in that deeper level where that fear, flight, or fight response is, where it's going to say, hey, I've made a mistake. I've overblown this reaction. I need to start healing it and get it down to a more appropriate level. Or this thought is not serving me anymore. I think I've discovered a solution, or I already know what the solution is on this deep level. I'm going to implement it. And what happens is it actually changes the neurology of your brain so that you have an automatic response of how you respond to certain stimuli. So I'm going to use my knock knock joke metaphor for you. If somebody says to you, and you've never heard a knock knock joke before, they say knock knock, and you say, who's there? And then they give you this really lame punchline. You're going to go, oh, and it's good humor, but it's desperate. The joke was bad. So your mind will actually remember this on an emotional level deep down. So in 5 years from now, somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to tell you a knock knock joke." And the first thing that happens is, oh, you go back into that emotional, okay, here it comes. I'm ready for it. I know it's going to be silly. I know it's lighthearted, and I know it's going to be a groaner. And you have that emotional response before you even hear the joke, because you know the knock knock joke is going to make you respond in a certain way. So certain stimuli will make you respond in a certain way, and it's automatic. So in hypnosis, we're going to change that. In fact, I'm not going to change it. You're going to change it in hypnosis. That's how this works, because you know your experiences, you've lived them, you are the expert in this. A hypnosis practitioner like myself, I am not the expert on your life and your experiences and your emotions and what you've been through. My job is to help you find those solutions and allow your mind to actually make the corrections. That's how this works. I'm not here to tell you how to solve the problem. Your mind already knows what it needs, and every person is actually very different in what their needs are. And this is specifically the reason why people are seeking out conversational hypnosis, especially ACH, if you can find somebody who does it, because the process can happen just like that, really fast in one session sometimes. Sometimes it might take a little bit more time. The processing has to continue within the mind to make all the correct connections. And it can happen over a day or two, or a week or two, even a few months. It'll start gradually, changing your responses. And then one day you'll realize that you're expecting to feel a certain way when a particular scenario happens, and you're ready for it, but then it doesn't happen because the response has now changed. So you don't have that anxiety that you would have. You're just kind of waiting for it to happen, and it doesn't show up because your brain has corrected the problem. And then that becomes your new normal. So I hope that this answers the question for you about why people are seeking out hypnosis, especially people in the medical community where their time is so limited and they don't have the schedule to be going back for repeated sessions with a hypnotist over and over and over again. They need results. They need them now, and they need them to last, and they need them to work for them for the rest of their life and not relapse into those old behaviors. I hope this has answered those questions for you. I hope you understand the method a little bit better. If you want more information, I have lots of videos coming on YouTube and on my website as well. There's also some, written content there you can take a look at. I also offer free consultations online over Zoom, because I do my work over the internet. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can have your private session that is separate from your personal medical record. This is a complementary hypnosis practice. So that means I work in conjunction with traditional therapy if you choose to go to traditional therapy, or you just want the hypnosis itself. So you're at home in a private setting where you're safe, and your session is completely private from your colleagues and your boss. So if you are interested, please book that free consultation online over Zoom with me. My booking page link is right at the bottom of this video or on the link beside it. And I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or concerns, or you're just curious, please reach out. I'm very happy to talk to you about it. And I hope to see you in the next video.